In 2003, a European company shortlisted Symbiote for a remote job in nutrition, which could earn her up to $21,000, which is about 12 million naira in 6 months. She was happy and excited, and she had high hopes for the prospect of earning about 12 million naira in 6 months in a country where unemployment and underemployment is very high. So she went to work, prepared her resume, polished it, and studied and got prepared and ready for the interview. But unfortunately, on the day of the interview, shortly after the interview commenced, her network went off. She tried everything to restore her internet, but all her efforts were in vain. She was disappointed, frustrated, and angry. That was how this great opportunity slipped through her fingers. This kind of scenario plays out every now and then as we learn online in Nigeria. Online learning in Nigeria is very tough. It requires steady internet, steady power supply. It also requires finances and a conducive environment. But unfortunately, these conditions are lacking in Nigeria. As having been online for these past 3 to 4 years, since 2019 precisely, I have a first-hand experience of what these challenges mean. If you also live in Nigeria, you have an experience of these challenges. If you live in developed nations where such challenges does not occur, today you will learn the hurdles of being an online student in Nigeria. You also learn to thank God for the benefits you enjoy. I want to talk about four things today that impact on online learning as a Nigerian. First, I'm going to talk about the poor internet connectivity. Then I will discuss the poor power supply in Nigeria. I will talk about the poor economic situation in Nigeria and also the online education policy in Nigeria. Now, let me start with the internet connectivity in Nigeria. Internet connectivity is crucial and the bedrock of every activity done online, especially online learning. Nigeria has a very long history of poor internet connectivity. The Premium Times reports that people living in remote areas of the country do not have access to the internet. And even who live in suburban areas and even in township areas experience slow network and also complete network outages from time to time. This kind of situation impacts greatly on online learning because you require network to be able to carry out your assignments and submit them on time, because online learning have always are attached with due dates. When your network is out on a particular, maybe in the middle of the week, you will not be able to complete the assignments on time, and that will make you to have a late submission. Sometimes also you may be absent in group activities or even Zoom calls that has to be done online if your network is not available. Also, struggling with network every now and then places undue stress on the students as we struggle to carry out our assignments from week to week. Secondly, I will talk about the poor electric power supply in Nigeria. Nigeria also has this problem of power electricity. In fact, citizens of Nigeria refer to the situation as epileptic power supply. Also, the All Africa Global Media reports that residents in parts of Lagos and Abuja always have clashes with officials of the national power electric power supply, because after paying for electric bills, they continue to experience power outages every now and then. This is a very big problem for online learners because you have to buy a generator to be able to have light all the time, and you also have to fuel your generator to be able to maintain it and to run it. And also the noise that comes from the generator poses another problem and disturbance for you, because the generator is always close by as you carry out your studies, so the noise generates a nuisance and a disturbance for you. Now, I will also talk about the poor economic situation in the country. Nigeria recently has been named the poverty capital of the world. The World Bank also reports that the economic situation in Nigeria right now is uncertain. Many citizens, most of the citizens in Nigeria, in fact, live below poverty level. This impacts on online learners because, as I said before, you have to buy fuel and data every week to be able to carry on with your studies. On the average, you'll be spending between 4,000 to 6,000 naira every week to be able to do that. This kind of financial pressure makes so many would-be online learners in Nigeria to quit because they cannot afford the financial involvement. Also, so many other things contribute to this problem of poverty, no joblessness, and even when people are employed, they are also underemployed. So it makes a lot of people to shy away from online learning. Lastly, I will talk about the Nigerian policy on online education, which states that the Nigerian government does not recognize any certificate acquired online. This policy has also made so many would-be online students to quit because they look at it as a waste of time, energy, and money. I hope so far you've been able to understand the situation that we face as online learners in Nigeria. So many issues confronting us, but despite these challenges, I continue to pursue my degree program in BYU Idaho. By now, some of you may be feeling sorry for me, but please, rather than feel sorry for me, give me a thumbs up and congratulate me because my studies at BYU Idaho is bringing out the best version of me. And despite these hurdles and challenges, I am very optimistic that my country will get better very soon. And what I'm doing now is laying a solid foundation for a better future for myself, my family, and my community. Thank you.